Hey there everybody, Milknyte here with a new video. I'm going to be playing through the original Ocarina of Time in a pre-recorded fashion. I did a pretty bad run of the OG version and I thought that I could kind of redeem myself by, you know, doing a recorded version of this. So let's begin. File 1. We're just gonna put in Link. I can't think of a good name, to be honest. I mean... Okay, here we go. Let's begin. In the vast deep forest of Hyrule. Long have I served as the guardian spirit. I'm known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Cool little intro coming up. This was like the bee's knees back in the day. Oh, look at those pixels. It's so weird going back to this after playing the 3D version. Navi, Navi, where art thou? Come hither. It's Shakespeare, apparently. O Navi the fairy, listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long the Kokiri forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. A youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to the path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly, the fates of the forest, nay, the world depends upon thee. I love how he doesn't have much time left, yet he's like speaking Old English. That's like longer syllables. It's kind of ironic. I guess it's his way of speaking. Hello, Meadow. Goodbye, Meadow.
Hello.
The guy that looks like he's humping the rock. Sweet. Sleeping with our eyes open, by the way.
Hello.
Hello, Link, wake up. The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Link, get up. Hey, come on! Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Lazy boy. Yes, open those already open eyes, Link. You finally woke up. I'm Navi the fairy. The great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The great Deku Tree has summoned you. Let's get going right now. Oh yes, there's no time like the present. Let's run. Except no, we're gonna get stopped because we've got the we've got to speak to Saria real quick. Well, actually we don't have to. We can kind of just ignore her. Yahoo! Hi, Link. I'm just gonna completely cold fish her. Because, like, it's kind of a waste of time talking. We speak to her, like, much later on, and when we leave the forest anyway. Spoiler alerts, by the way, there's gonna be a bunch of spoilers. Although everyone and their grandmother has played this game, pretty much. So, our first course of action is to get as much rupees as possible. Sod off, Navi, we know what we're doing. I'm not answering her. Just out of principle. The game's barely started and we're already being spammed with where to go. I will preface this up front before I even get round to it, but the one temple I'm probably going to end up taking a lot of time on. At least the two temples that I tend to take a while on is usually the water temple and for some reason the fire temple, mostly. Those are the two temples I seem to take a long time with. Out of the others I seem to do them okay. Hidden treasure, yeah, we've got the Kokiri sword. Let's quickly go and equip it. There we have it. Which means now we can go and, you know, use it to cut things and fight, which is good. So the version of Ocarina of Time I'm playing right now is the latest version. I say latest in giant quotes, but for the N64 the latest version was 1.2 until they ended up making the GameCube versions, which were just basically kind of ports in a way, but they have their own specific things that you can do in them, like glitches and stuff. I'm not that well informed on the glitches in this game, essentially. I just kind of play things basically more vanilla as possible, really. I could have changed the tunic colour, but I can't be bothered, really. I could have turned it on before I played the game, but it's no big deal. Oh yeah, Meadow's house has some rupees in it. I think I saw a rupee just chilling out over there. Yep. Oh, we only need one rupee and we're good. One of these rocks surely has one rupee in it. Perfect. No, Navi, we know what we're doing. We're gonna go and do the Great Deku Tree dungeon, but before we do that, let's get ourselves a shield. This text speed though. Okay, we have both shields. We have the shield and the sword equipped. Let's go see Meadow and tell him to let us pass. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and a shield. What is that? Oh, you have a Deku shield. And what's that? Isn't that the Kokiri sword? Good grief. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the great Meadow, will never accept you as one of us. What a douche. How did you get to be the favourites of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. Ugh, bitter till the end. We need to stock up on some Deku sticks, because we're going to need them in the dungeon. This isn't 100% run, by the way. I never really do 100% stuff, to be honest. Just gonna wait for these to grow back. I'm waiting for this one to grow back so I can... I can't hit it prematurely and get it to be a net. That should be enough. Great Deku tree, I'm back. O Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Deku tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to massive exposition. Verily thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost have the courage enough to undertake this task? Yes. Enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use the C up to listen well. Ugh, I won't be doing much of that, to be honest. There's Deku nuts. D's nuts. Oh, terrible meme, I know. Shameful. The whole, like, entire playthrough has gone down in quality now because I've repeated that meme. Time to climb the ladder. Jumping in this game is amazing. It just happens as you run. You don't have to press a button or anything. It's amazing in that sense. Right, we're gonna get our first chest opened, and it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be this. Well, technically it's our first dungeon chest. I don't really count the Kakiri sword chest in the little hidden area. It's not exactly a dungeon now, is it? So yeah, we've got a map and it'll tell us where to go. I mean, the Deku tree is pretty simple in terms of design and getting around it. Yeah, she's telling us how to open doors now by pressing the A button next to it. Yeah, the Deku tree is basically a giant tutorial, pretty much, on how to do stuff sprinkled in between. So yeah, the scrub is now going to tell us a little clue. When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward on the joystick, you'll be able to roll on the ground when you land and won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it'll work though if the cliff is really, really high. Hehehe. Well, try it if you're feeling bored. Wahahaha. Yeah, great dialogue there. Funnily enough, there's a secondary chest over here, but it's only got hearts in it. I suppose I can go and grab it, just what the hell, you know. Yeah, literally a recovery heart. I suppose it's useful if you're bad and you got hurt by the Deku scrub. I suppose. So we've got the fairy slingshot. We get to hit the ladders with them to release them. We get to be Hyrule's Dennis the Menace. Let me use this platform to jump back over, and there we go. I clipped through the ledge then. That was very strange. Yes, it's not uncommon to find little things like that sometimes. We'll pick up the seeds just to get the little info. Because I'm going to be needing to pick up stuff anyway when we refill on that. Rather than suffer through it later, I'll suffer through it now, kind of thing. Actually, what am I doing? There's a doorway over here. There's a gold Skulltula in there. I will definitely pick up as many gold Skulltulas as I can throughout this run. Or throughout this playthrough, I should say. It's not really a run. I suppose you could say it's run, playthrough, whatever. Whatever works. A run through, whatever works. Compass lets us find items in the dungeon. Right, time to use the Deku stick. Just to light up the torch so we can open the door. Put this away. Freaked out then, because the Skulltula was a bit close. So I'll do it again. There we are, we got it now. That's our first Skulltula, or gold Skulltula I should say. Right, time to jump down and open the web up. At least we now have it. Another gold Skulltula over here. I was a little bit off of my jump then. Camera can be a bit of a pain sometimes. Nice. Go and get ourselves the second gold Skulltula that we've just grabbed. It's actually really fun, like, recording something as opposed to streaming it. It's a nice change of pace. It's a bit more relaxed and stuff like that. Get back here. There we go. Three, two, 2, 3, 1. That's it. 23 is number 1. Now we're going to get diving instructions. Pretty easy. Just hit the switch, get over in time, and there you go. Gotta remember that jump attacks are pretty powerful, as in, like, they can one-shot or even do a ton of damage to things. We don't have to push it all the way. Just gotta push it in the general direction to get up. Funnily enough, one thing I do remember is that there's actually lava eggs up there. You can just get rid of them by doing this, or basically walking around the area. There we go, the hit detection can be a bit strange on them sometimes. That's for when we have bombs, we don't have them at the moment. Right, time to pull this over, or push I should say. Hey, I put it away before we could fall. That's kind of nice. There we go. How did you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma. In order to administer the coup de grace to the Queen Goma, strike with your sword when she's stunned. Yeah, it's not exactly a hard boss, to be honest. Pretty easy, but then again, DQ tree is always easy. Time to look at Goma. I could have one-cycled it, but I was a bit slow with the Deku stick. Funnily enough, you can do extra damage by doing this. There we go. When I say extra damage, it just kind of looks cooler that you can shoot it from the top like that. First heart container of the game. Well done, Link. Thou hast verily demonstrated thine courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell ye, wouldst thou listen? We have to listen. Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerous powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in the sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. And Pharaoh, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arms she cultivated the land and created the red earth. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. Pharaoh, with her rich soul, produced all life forms that would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labours completed, departed for the heavens, and their sacred triangles remain at the point. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence. Couldn't get that last bit of text in before that. It's become rest in place, the triangles have become the sacred realm. In other words, the golden triangles are everything in this game. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armour to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon, but do not grieve for me. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. Link, go now to Hyrule Castle. There, thou will surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse upon me. You got the Kokiri Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Link, thou art courageous. Navi the fairy help Link to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Link. Goodbye, great Deku Tree. Here we go. Gotta speak to Meadow now. Actually, I don't even know if we can... No, you can't jump over him, I don't think. Hey Link, what did you do? The great Deku Tree, did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault. Ugh. And then we just get blamed for it because Meadow's like that. Oh well, screw him. We only see him like way later on, but that's much later. Right, there's not really much else to do in this specific area. Let's head off and go and get ourselves to Hyrule Castle. Oh boy, Saria. Oh, you're leaving. I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Link. Because you are different from me and my friends. But that's okay. We'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please take good care of it. Until we get the shinier model. But hey. You've received the fairy ocarina. This is a memento from Saria. I can set it to C and play it. You can play different notes and quit playing, stuff like that. When you play my ocarina, I hope you will think of me and come back to the forest to visit. Then Link just awkwardly runs. Speaking of long-winded dialogue, we're about to have another dose of it in a minute, in the form of an owl. In fact, you'll see him in a moment. There he is! Chilling, just waiting to waste our time. Hoot hoot, Link, look up here. It appears that the time has finally come for you to start your adventure. You will encounter many hardships ahead, that is your fate. Don't feel discouraged, even during the toughest times. Go straight this way and you will see Hyrule Castle. You will meet a princess there. If you are lost and don't know which way to go, look at the map. The areas that you have explored will be shown on the map. Press start to enter the subscreens. On the map subscreen you'll be able to see a flashing dot showing you which way you should be going next. Did you get all that? Yes, you're not getting me this time, owl. See you around, hoot hoot hoot. See us around, he sure will. So we're gonna head right to Hyrule Castle, really. I mean, I could go to Kakariko and get the bottle there, but like, there's no point, because we're gonna be going there on the way to Death Mountain anyway. I'm planning to make most of the journeys meaningful in some way, I guess. Oh, it counts as nighttime now, doesn't it? Quickly get some rupees. Also, there's a Skulltula in here, if I remember correctly. Actually, it might be only in the day, not at nighttime. Oh no, here it is. That was a smashing time we just had. Ooh woo woo. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Hello, Malon. They're different. You're not from around here, are you? Yeah, our clothing's different. Oh, you're a fairy boy from the forest. My name is Malon. Dad went to the castle to deliver some milk, but he's not come back yet. Yeah, about that. Oh, hello again. Hey Link, this way. The princess is inside the castle. Just ahead. Be careful not to get caught by the guards. Basically, just don't get caught. No, I don't want to hear what you said again. You're a smart kid. Good luck then. Smart indeed. So we've got to wait out here till like... Actually, no, can we come back here now? Because I'm sure Malon spawns in if we reload the area. Yeah, she's spawned in here. She's going to do us a favour and give us a chicken egg, which we're going to need to wake her daddy up. What a thing for an adult to do, tee-hee. Oh yeah, if you look for him, I'll give this to you. I've been incubating this egg very carefully, tee-hee. I like to imagine that Malon, like, gently sits on it like a chicken does, to be honest. She doesn't exactly have, like, technology to keep it incubated on the go. That or she could carry it under her clothing or something, I don't know. It's not like they're playing Pokemon Go where there's like a portable incubation system, to say the least. Chicken hatched already. That was fast, wasn't it? Some rupees in this little waterway. We'll get them as we go. Okay, old man, time to wake up. What in tarnation? Can a person get a little shut-eye around here? Hello, and who might you be? Yep, I'm Talon, the owner of Lon Lon Ranch. Went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here. He went to deliver some milk. Shout out for the milk. Love how Link's legs like twitching on the step. You see some interesting things when playing on emulator. Okay, we get to do the Metal Gear Solid part of the game, by which I mean sneaking past the guards and not getting seen. This section isn't too bad, to be fair. There's a lot of waiting involved. I mean, I could be one of those guys and use the speed up function, but I feel like I'd be ruining it if I did that. Whole point is to create tension while we wait. I mean, if there's any super tedious parts, then yeah, okay, maybe I'll use speed up, but I can't really see myself using it all that much. Okay, we're good. think we've come at the right time for these two, actually. Okay, we're good. Oh yeah, a fun little Easter egg in here. Most people already know about it, but in case you've been living under a rock and never really looked, you got Bowser, Mario, Peach in the window over here. Luigi, Yoshi. I think Luigi's on the very far end. Actually, no, it might just be Yoshi, now that I think about it. Oh no, there's Luigi. He's over there. Which is a nice little reference. It's kind of cool. And you can get 20 rupees by doing this. And you get a bomb thrown at you if you cause trouble in the other window, which I'll quickly do, just for fun. Gotta have a blast with the little Easter eggs. Yeah, there's a reason why I'm standing there. Anyway, let's go and see Zelda. Who? Who are you? How did you get past the guards? Well, it wasn't exactly hard now, was it? Oh, what's that? Is that a fairy? Then are you from the forest? Then you wouldn't happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest, would you? That green and shiny stone. Do you have it? Just as I thought. I had a dream, and in the dreams, dark storm clouds were billowing over the land of Hyrule. But suddenly a ray of light shot out at the forest, parted the clouds, and lit up the ground. The light turned into a figure holding a green and shining stone, followed by a fairy. I know this is a prophecy that somebody would come from the forest. Yes, I thought that might be the one. You might be the one. I got carried away with my story and I didn't even properly introduce myself. I am Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. What is your name? Link. Strange, it sounds familiar. It's ironic, actually. You could, like, put any name there and it just sounds amusing. Okay then, Link, I'm going to tell you the secret of the sacred realm that has been passed down. We've got to sit through this again. Please keep this a secret from everyone. Okay. Even though, like, Deku Tree told us about it. The legend goes like this. Yeah, we have to sit through the whole, like, three goddesses story again. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of the one who holds the Triforce in his hands. I mean, to be fair, okay, the Deku Tree didn't quite tell us this, but, like, he told us, like, the basics of where the Triforce had come from. And here, she's telling us that a wish can do certain things. Anyone who is evil that touches it, bad things happen, so... Foreshadowing. I always thought the Triforce in this game looks like like 3 dairy leaves put together. That's right, the Temple of Time is the entrance through which you can enter the sacred realm from our world. But the entrance is sealed with a stone wall called the Door of Time. In order to open the door, it is said that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones. I'm actually looking that up now, Dairily Triforce. Another thing you need is the treasure that the royal family keeps along with this legend. The Ocarina of Time. Yep. Shout out to the game title. Do you understand the story I just told you? Yes. That's great. I was just spying through this window just now, just you know, as you do. The other element from my dream, the dark clouds, I believe they symbolize that man in there. Will you look through the window at him? I suppose we must. Can you see the man with the evil eyes? That is Ganondorf, the leader of the Gerudos? Gerudos. They hail from the desert far to the west. Though he swears allegiance to my father, I am sure he is not sincere. The dark clouds that covered Hyrule in my dream, they must symbolize that man. What happened? Did he see you? Don't worry. He doesn't have any idea what we're planning yet. Yes. I told my father about my dream. However, he didn't believe it was a prophecy. But I can sense this man's evil intentions. What Ganondorf is after nothing less than the Triforce of the Sacred Realm. He must have come to Hyrule to obtain it, and he wants to conquer Hyrule, no, the entire world. Link, now we are the only ones who can protect Hyrule. Please. Thank you. I'm afraid I have a feeling that man is going to destroy Hyrule. He has such terrifying power. But it's fortunate that you have come. We must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina of Time with all my power. He shall not have it. You go find the other 2 spiritual stones. Let's get the Triforce before Ganondorf does, and then defeat him. One more thing. Take this letter. I'm sure it will be helpful to you. Yep, we've got Zelda's letter. We've got to show it to the guard in Kakariko. And then we get to speak to Impa. I am Impa of the Sheikahs. I am responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as the princess foretold. You are a courageous boy. You're heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? New, by the way. Sorry, I couldn't resist. It's kind of true. My role as my role in the princess's dream was to teach a melody to the one from the forest. It is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I've played this song for Princess Zelda as a lullaby ever since she was a baby. There's a mysterious power in these notes. Now listen carefully. Now we get to do the Zelda's lullaby. we've learnt the Zelda's lullaby. If the castle soldiers find you, there'll be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. You brave lad, we must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. Take a good look at that mountain. That is the Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. At the foot of Death Mountain you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers there before you go up Death Mountain. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember it will help you to prove your connection with the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. Alright, we're counting on you. And then we just have to go off into the world again. But before we all do that, we're going to have to pop to the Lost Woods as well, but we can worry about that in a moment, actually. Actually, should we quickly go do that? We have to anyway. Because in order to get the chief of the Gorons to dance, we need the song. So we're going to be doing a bit of backtracking now already before I even get a chance to, but it's kind of just how it is. When we get to Kakariko though, there'll be stuff that we can do. In fact, this is where the speed up function would become very helpful. So yeah, this is the power of emulation. Whoops. Yeah, there's a reason I don't play at this speed all the time. So yeah, the gimmick is we have to listen out for the song. In the meantime, I'm going to do this. Is my aim that bad? There we go. I think it's because my Xbox One left stick is a little bit ultra touchy at times. Cool, you're great. You scored 3 perfect bullseyes. I have to give you a neat present. Such a wonderful person. Please take it. Yep, basically we get more seeds. Oh, look who it is again. He's going to basically tell us that, you know, Saria's playing the song and that we've got to listen. No, I don't want to hear what you said again. If you're courageous, you'll make it through the forest just fine. Just follow your ears and listen to the sounds coming from the forest. Hoot hoot. Hoot hoot. Secret Meadow. Sacred Forest Meadow. One jump slash is all I need. Right, we're going to be dealing with some mad scrubs as well. go see Sari and learn the song. Because it's gonna be, well, it's gonna be useful to get Goron Chief boy dancing. I've been waiting for you, Link. This is the sacred forest, Meadow. It's my secret place, I feel. This place will be very important for both of us someday. That's what I feel. If you play the ocarina here, you can talk with the spirits in the forest. Would you like to play the ocarina with me? Yes. Try to follow along with the melody I will play. Are you ready? We're always ready. Great, great. Please don't forget this song. Do you promise? When you want to hear my voice play Saria's song, you can talk with me anytime. Essentially, she's kind of like another hint system, really. She'll give you hints. She's a little bit like a much more helpful Navi, I guess you could say. And that's only if you really need her. I don't think I'll really be calling upon her, really. Also, an interesting thing to note, if you ever want to get fairies, in the bottle, there's a fairy fountain right there, actually. Oh, whoa. Yeah, that hole there, that's the fairy fountain. We don't need to visit it right now, because we don't have any bottles, and I don't really need to heal right now. Whoops. I spoke too soon. We can now leave the forest, which is all good. Oh boy, it's Owl Boy again. He's just basically saying that the song's really cool and it has strong powers and that we can do other stuff with it. Other than talk to Saria, he means. He's alluding to, talking to the, no. He's alluding to not talking, but to get the Goron Chief dancing. Right here I can use speed up again to get around. Super speedy mode. In fact, we can make a quick detour to Hyrule Castle when it's daytime. Did not mean to fall in at that speed. It's gonna be nighttime again if I don't hurry up. Okay, it's enough speed up. The reason I've come here is for two reasons. There's a minigame I want to play, and I want to grab one of the shields. I know I can get a discount, but I'm going to be foregoing the discount for the shield because I don't intend to get the mask and go back. Might be a bit rusty at the game. Yep, That one always gets me caught off. I always think it's the blue first and the jumping one after. I don't know why, I just do. Get a free go. Okay, let's try it again. This might take me a few attempts because, well, Xbox One stick being very touchy. There we go. Then we've got more seed bullets, we can carry more, up to 50 now, which is quite cool. That's really all I came in here for, really. Now the thing is, I don't think I have enough for the shield right now. Isn't the shield like 80 rupees? Just let me double check. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna quickly run to the pot room and get myself some rupees. I mean, yeah, 80 rupees for a shield is steep, but we're kinda gonna need it. Also, I will not be getting Epona's song for the horse until we do Zora's Domain. I have to go and do the fishing, so on the way to Lake Hyaleah to get the silver scale, then it'll be a good time to go to Lon Lon Ranch. I think we're doing everything that we can do here for the time being. Onward to Kakariko, and we are going to do a few things that are over there too. Oh, wait a minute. I haven't got the shield yet. What am I doing? I'm definitely jumping the gun before I've gone ahead. I'm going to buy the shield first. Perfect. We can now go in turtle mode. I can't remember if there's a Skulltula here or not. I could be wrong. Might be in a different location. Get some hearts coming down just to get healed up. Good old Kakariko village. Speaking of which, we haven't saved for a while. Let's quickly save. We'll go and do the chicken thing while we're here, just to get a bottle. It's kind of needed, really. By needed, it's like kind of mandatory, because we need to use a bottle for a fish to get Jabu Jabu to open up. This might be a good good option to speed up with. Oh god, no. I didn't mean to do that. No. Chickens ran off. There we go. Jeez, the music sounds like it's possessed when it's sped up. Actually, speeding up this section might not be a good idea, because the chickens will be too fast for me to grab. For any of you who don't know, or rather for anyone who doesn't really play around with emulators all that much, Project 64 has a feature called frame skipping, which... or, no, not frame skipping, limit FPS. But if you turn the limit FPS off, it makes the game super fast. Like, really fast. Best go and get the one on the way to the mountain. I'll be coming back here at night time to get the Skulltulas that I can get a hold of as well. Because there's quite a few of them in Kakariko, and getting the bigger wallet is always good. Because I'm thinking that I'm more than likely gonna go and buy the tunics, really. Except maybe the Zora tunic, because I only just need an extra bottle of blue fire to free King Zora at that point. But I don't really like the quote-unquote mini-game of stopping that one Goron to give you the fire tunic. Because I'm pretty bad at placing the bombs, pretty much. So I'll probably just end up buying the Goron tunic at that point. Yeah, not much to say here, guys. It's just collecting chickens. It's not exactly glamorous right about now. Thank you for finding my cuckoos. I have allergies, so I get goosebumps when I touch them. Yep, she does chicken keeping. You might want to change trades, lady. I've got an empty bottle, which is good. You can put anything in it, which is cool. Right, time to give the guard the letter. He basically, like, makes the entire thing sound like a giant elaborate joke by Zelda's part, but he lets us through anyway, which is kind of humorous. We do have a proper shield. I went ahead and got that. We don't need the discount because I had the enough rupees for it. I mean, it's nice incentive, but like I don't need to worry about that. This is the mask quest that he's talking about here. I'm not going to really be doing that. It's optional. It's not required. What we're going to do is we're going to wait here real briefly, and what's going to happen is I'm then going to be able to turn around and it'll be night time. And we're going to go back in and essentially get ourselves some gold Skulltulas in the area. It'd be best if I speed up for this, if you don't mind the music being completely destroyed beyond recognition. Perfect. There is another thing I can get in Kakariko real quick, which will help with day and night cycles, and that's the Sun Song. There's quite a couple of Skulltulas in this area, to be honest. Like, quite a good bunch of them. There's like 2 in this section here, too. Bugs are another thing you can put in bottles. Interestingly enough. Do you know one item I absolutely adore in this game? The boomerang. Problem is, you don't really get to use it all that much. By the time you get it, well, it's time to become an adult, really, at that point. I mean, yeah, you can kind of use it a bit more when you're in the bottom of the well section of the game, I suppose. But even then, it's kind of funny, really. Right, I'm going to need my ocarina here. Main reason? So we can open up the gravestone. And there's Dampé. Doing what Dampé does best. Making sure I get some hearts and a bit of coin, I suppose. I don't really do Damp's little digging challenge, but let's quickly ask him if he can do it. Gravekeeper's heart-pounding grave-digging tour. What's going to come out? What's going to come out? When I start digging, we'll find out. Do you want me to dig here? 10 rupees. Gone. Rats. Nope, nothing here. I think there's something here, actually, but I have to wait for him to get all the way around. Actually, that's what speed-up's for, isn't it? I'm in his way. I got 1 rupee, hooray. That's one of the reasons I don't do this very much. Oops, sorry, I'm dropping a few things here. I had a cup of tea earlier, and my wire seems to be hitting the cup, which is empty, making a clink clink sound. So yeah, the grave is now open. We're going down here to learn the Sun Song, which is mainly used for better night transitions and day transitions. Right, we're going to be dealing with re-deads in the next section. Be warned, they scream loudly and cause nightmares. That's if you get seen by them. They're basically this game's zombies. I'll try and go past them. So yeah, the rising sun will eventually set, a newborn's life will fade. From sun to moon, moon to sun, give peaceful rest to the living dead. This is an interesting poem, huh? Something is inscribed on the tombstone. The secret melody of the composer of rivers. Keep the sun's song in your heart. About the Sun Song. Restless souls wander where they don't belong. Bring the calm of the Sun Song. An interesting fact, they can freeze the re-deads too. So we don't have to worry about knocking into them and having them scream at us again. And there we go, they're frozen. And they don't unfreeze, they just stay there like that. Unless I exit the area and re-enter it, you know. Interesting fact, later on when you become an adult, there's re-deads in the marketplace. They don't freeze you, you know, when they scream at you. I think it's a bug, I'm not too sure. Actually, I'm not even sure if it is a bug. Ah, they found it hard to possibly program the Castle Town area. It may also be because they are potentially the first redeads the player sees in the game, provided they didn't go through the optional graveyard. It was done to institute that the redeads are somehow different, like they were actually townspeople. Have no idea. I think it was some kind of one of these explanations. Yes, it's definitely like a type of glitch or an oversight. That's interesting. I've never looked into the semantics of that. But it makes sense because the marketplace is a fixed screen already, so why would they fix you in place by screaming at you? There's no music because it's just morning time. It's kind of creepy actually, in a strange way. Red Tektite. They're pretty easy, just jump slash them and you're good to go. Maybe just hit them like that. There's a heart piece over there which we'll grab. When we've been to the Goron city anyway. Somebody actually asked a legit question of if this game could be played with a D-pad. Technically it can be, although moving and stuff would be very awkward. I mean, theoretically you can remap the controls on emulator, so... He's not in a very good mood. Let's change that. Whoops. There we go. Now we get to see him dance, which is amazing yet terrifying at the same time. Kind of dancing like someone's drunk uncle, to be honest. Come on! Come on, come on, come on! Hot. What a hot beat. Yahoo! Never gets old. What a nice tune. Just like that, my depression is all gone. Something just came over me and I suddenly wanted to dance like crazy. I am Darunia. I am the big boss of the Gorons. Was there something you wanted to ask me about? What? You wanted the spiritual stone of fire too? The spiritual stone of fire, also known as the Goron's ruby, is our race's hidden treasure. But hold on, I'm not going to give it to you that easily. If you want it that badly, why don't you go destroy the monsters inside the Dodongo's cavern and prove you're a real man? That way, everybody will be happy again. If you do it, I'll give you anything you want, even the spiritual stone. I have something for you, but I'm not giving you this in return for anything, but take it anyway. If you wear this, even a little fella like you can pick up a bomb flower using the A button. This is auto-equipped onto us, by the way. We don't need to, like, equip it. It means we can just now make bomb flowers, or at least pull them from out the roots. I should open the store for later, by the way. Actually, I think when you're an adult you can just use bombs, but there's nothing stopping me. Waste of a Deku stick, I know, but still. So yeah, that's the Goron shop. Just thought I'd quickly show it off. Right, off to the Dodongo's Cavern, which is the second dungeon as the kid. Cool. It's very hard to miss that, to be fair. Just about made it. Just to get this piece of heart. Yep, welcome to Dodongo's Cavern. This is actually a pretty fun dungeon. I would actually say out of all the kid dungeons, this is probably my favourite. Mainly the way it's structured, and the boss at the end is really cool too. There's a lot to like about Dodongo's Cavern. The fact that you also use bombs and get to use them too, which is kind of cool. Baby Dodongos now. I actually do kind of need to get a gold Skulltula, so I'm going to go over here. I did not time that very well. It's alright, we can do it again. These explode when we kill them. Which is why I needed the blast. Just so we could get the Skulltula in this room. We also get to see amazing backflipping Link in midair like that. He looked kind of half asleep, which is kind of amusing. Mini boss time. Another reason why I like King Dodongo's, or the Dodongo dungeon. You get to have this cool fight against these Lizarfoss creatures, or Dinofoss. Taking a lot more damage than I thought. Good thing there's some hearts here. That's one down. Let me check if this is the right way I'm going. I think it's the other way. Yes, this way. I knew I'd disoriented myself. Because the camera's not directly looking at where I'm going at that point. Plus I don't have the dungeon map in this area. Not yet anyway. Business scrub, I don't really need them. I think he sells Deku sticks. We've got plenty of them anyway, so we're fine. Yeah, baby Dodongos. They don't really drop anything. And then we've got them rails off the door. I could have handled that jump a bit better. It's okay, we'll just go to the middle again. That's the dungeon map, if I recall. Or it could be the compass. Now it's the map. Okay, cool. We have the map for the area now. Another business scrub. We don't really need to deal with them. Not too sure what he sells, to be honest. Probably a heart piece or seeds or something. They always tend to sell stuff that you don't really need all that much. Unless you're like, you got nothing with you, kind of thing. Kind of hoping he came a bit closer. There we go. Compass. Just gonna take a sip of water real quick. Delicious water. Flavoured, it's berry, it's like cherry and berry flavour. This is one of those I did that kind of moments, you know? There's a Skulltula over there, but I can't get to it yet. There is one that we can get to, though. I think one of the armors in here is fake. Can't remember which one. This one. Yeah, fire keys can burn your Deku shield. One of the reasons why having the Hylian shield is just better. Right, there's going to be blade traps in this area. Probably just saw it just now. They move around a lot. Just gotta dodge them. There's a spare chest in here. Rupees? Yep. Right, the idea is to throw this just as it explodes, or try to get it to land on the ledge. I'm too scrubby, and I'm going to go with the wait till it explodes method. I'm going to be a little bit out of practice. I'll get it in a minute. There we are. That was a heart under there. That's kind of useful. I should push this block further a bit. Because otherwise I'm just going to keep jumping. That's better. Right, the trick is shoot the eye. Little Dodongos are back again. Now we get to fight the Dynaphos or Lizphos this time. Lizphos. Now we finally get the ability to use bombs after this section. Let's get our bombs, and we can finally get further into the dungeon. In fact, to make Dodongos fight a bit quicker, we'll use the deacoustic method. Right, the gimmick is to drop bombs onto the eyes of the Dodongo face, which is blue. You can drop down. Still got more to go though. There's still some extra rooms in this dungeon to do. Camera angle screwed me over a bit there. So we're going to get the block and push it into that spot. There's an extra room here, actually, if I remember correctly. I can't remember what's in it now. Gold Skulltula? Yes. We don't even have to set the armors off. Pretty simple. Yep, we get a fairy that always spawns here. I'll quickly bottle it. We're not really going to need it, but hey, you never know. Right, time to push the block. The keys in this section have respawned, because of course. That's good, get them both out the way with. Right, time to face King Dodongo. That's another reason why the Hylian shield is amazing, because you can just dodge King Dodongo's hits with that, or essentially guard against them. And it's over in 2 Deku sticks. Quickest fight ever. It's kind of laughable how fast you can get rid of King Dodongo, really. It's me, Darunia, well done. Thanks to you, we can once again eat the delicious rocks from the Dodongo's caverns until our stomachs burst. What a wild adventure, it'll make for an incredible story. Can't believe that the Dodongos suddenly appeared in great numbers. And that big rock blocking the cave. All this trouble must have been caused by the Gerudo thief, Ganondorf. He said, "Give me the spiritual stone, only then I can open the cave for you." You, on the other hand, risked your life for us. Kid, I like you. How's about you and I become sworn brothers? No, there's no big ceremony involved. Let's take this as a token of our friendship. You obtain the Goron's ruby. This is the spiritual stone of the fire passed down by the Gorons. You don't know what he means by sworn brothers, but you've collected 2 spiritual stones. You have 1 more to find. Brother, you'll keep on brushing up on your skills as you travel, won't you? You should go and see the Great Fairy on top of Death Mountain. She'll power you up. In fact, we're going to be going to see 2 fairies, or great fairies I should say. How about a big Goron hug? LOL. Okay, let's go to see the Great Fairy first, since we may as well go do that. It'll give us the ability to use magic. A little bit too soon. There we go. Right, this is the bit where we have to wait whilst this happens. I can actually speed this up. Okay, we're here now. I just need to get my slingshot. Sorry for the obnoxious speed up, but I felt that was necessary to get through that part. Okay, the Great Fairy's in here. We can actually have our elf friend take us back down soon enough. Ooh woo, Great Fairy. Welcome, Link. I am the Great Fairy of Power. I'm going to grant you a sword technique. Receive it now. Yep, we've mastered the secret sword technique of spin attack. Hold B to charge your weapon, release B. It's basically the wave spin ability. When you charge for a spin attack, magic power will be depleted. In other words, keep an eye on it. We get to get another power if we go back to Hyrule Castle, which we will actually do before going to Lon Lon Ranch, essentially. So yeah, we can do our ability. Both levels of power, it's amazing. Right, let's have our friend take us back. We just have to stand underneath his talons to be taken down. I like how we look upon the village as we descend upon it, in all of its low JPEG quality, which is really cool. Right, I'm going to use the speed up function and we're going to head over to Hyrule Castle. We'll go like Speedy Gonzales. Okay, turn off the speed up. So yeah, we're going to go and use bombs to get rid of the boulder in front of the Great Fairies area. This will give us Pharaoh's Wind, I believe, which is useful if you need to save in a dungeon and go back to the entrance or whatever. I don't know if I'm going to be using it very much, but I may as well get it. This could be Din's Fire, actually, now that I think about it. Actually, no, it is Din's Fire. We do need it to unlock the Shadow Temple. I think Pharaoh's Wind is completely optional. We don't need it. Welcome, Link. I'm the Great Fairy of Magic. I will give you a magic spell. Please take it. Yeah, it is Din's Fire. Engulfs everything in fire. There's a few instances where we need to use it. There's a room in the Shadow Temple that requires to use it, and the way to open the Shadow Temple is, well, needed. I wonder if you can get into the Shadow Temple without Din's Fire. There's probably some kind of glitch you can do. I might as well get seen by the guards to get thrown out. It's faster than just running all the way back. Right, next stop, Lon Lon Ranch, which means I'm going to speed up the game again. It's going to be night time by the time we get there. It's okay, we can wait. I'll just keep running around until me trying to fight these things at hyperspeed. Actually doing pretty well. And again, I'm just kind of mashing. Wait for the music. Okay. We'll do the cuckoo game on the way out of the mansion. The farm. Mansion, roundabout. There's also a gold Skulltula here as well as a heart piece off in the corner, which we'll get after. Actually, no, I'll get them now. It'll definitely take out the tediousness of running. There it is. Magicka speed up. It's both a double-edged sword. And yes, if you play Epona's song to cows, they will give you milk, which is kind of cool. Oh, it's the fairy boy again. I hear that you found my dad. How did you like the castle? Did you see the princess? Hee hee. Dad came home in a hurry after you found him. Hee hee. Oh yeah, I have to introduce you to my friend, fairy boy. She's this horse. Her name is Epona. Isn't she cute? It seems like Epona is afraid of you, fairy boy. Let me pull out our ocarina. Maybe I've got to speak to her again, hold on. My mother composed the song, isn't it nice? Let's sing together. There we go. Oh, cute ocarina. Are you going to play this song with that ocarina? Of course we are. Because we need it. We need the horse. Horse is required to get into Gerudo Valley as an adult, so... Learned Epona's song. Amazing. Never go and do the cuckoo game. Obviously not at the speed. Mumble mumble. I'm awake already, what? Well, I'll be if it ain't the forest kid from the other day. By the way, thanks a lot for waking me up. It took some doing, but I finally got Malon back in a good mood. So what are you up to today? Got some free time in your hands? Well, how about a little game? Yeah, but I got the cuckoos. Super cuckoos. Just gotta pick them out from the gaggle, and if we do that within a lot amount of time, we'll get milk. Pretty simple, but I want the bottle, so... means the other one will be over here. There we go. That's faster than I thought. Would you like to marry Malon? I just skipped through all that dialogue, but he was just kidding. Proud to present to you a sample of our very own Lon Lon milk. Be energized the moment you drink it. After you drink it, you can bring back the bottle and buy a refill anytime you want. We're not going to be doing that. I can get free milk off cows by playing Epona's song to them. And besides, potions aren't that expensive either, considering. Right, onward to Lake Hylia. That's where we'll be going next. Not that way, though. We need to go the other way. Actually, hold on a second. We can go and do the fishing game. I may as well. Oh no, it's our elf friend. He's over there again. Good old Lake Hylia. Ready to go fishing? I sure am. Oh no, I don't have rumble support, it doesn't matter. And then he tells us the controls about fishing. So the fish I want to get is not here, but over here. Probably going to need to be closer. That's the one that I want. I lost it. Damn it. Somehow it disconnected. Hold on, I think it needs to be above £10 or 8. So I always forget about the record. Oh no, it is £6. What happens if you give him the fish and it weighs the exact amount? What happens? You just get like, yeah, you just get that given to you. That's not the one that I want. That's not the one that I want either. I like how he's laughing at us, by the way. Don't worry, I'm not doing that on purpose to look bad, it's just that I need the other fish. I keep getting smaller fish I don't need. It's got to be like £8. That's fine, that's the fish we need. There's a Hylian loach in this game, but I only remember ever getting it on cartridge. I've never been able to replicate the loach thing. You need a special lure to get it. I could have sworn you get the silver scale from here. Oh wait, no. You get the gold scale when you're an adult. I just remembered. I think coming here was completely pointless. Well, not pointless. I mean, I suppose I showed off the fishing. Let's quickly speed up. It's been a while since we've saved. Let's quickly do that. And we're going to use super speed to go to Lake Hyaleah on the other side. Reason? Because we can't deep dive into where Zora's palace is. Or Zora. The Zora area. Zora's domain, there we go. Okay, I'll turn off speed up. There's our owl friend. Looks like you've gotten bigger and stronger already, Link. Just ahead lies Zora's domain. The Zoras serve Hyrule's royal family by protecting this water source. Their door will not open for anyone except those who have some connection with the royal family. Let them hear the melody of the royal family. Hoot hoot hoot. The bomb explodes as he takes off, which has opened the way for us. I'll get rid of the other boulders that are here, just because. Oh, do I need the chicken to get over? Yeah, I do. There's a reason why the chicken's placed there. Can't remember now if there's actually a hole here. No, it's fine. I thought there was like a secret area or something nearby. piece for me. I can't remember now, but I'm sure you can take this chicken with you to get the other heart piece. Make sure I don't fall in the water or get hit by anything. Yep, can do it that way. That's another heart piece for us. Or heart, yeah, heart piece. One more and we can get a full container again. I see a Skulltula nearby, or hear one. Question is where. Ah, it's over here. I have to go all the way back now. That's what I get for not looking at my jump correctly. There we go. Okay, there we go. I've got to open the area again. It's only opened up for a limited time. It's only opened up for a limited time when the song is played. Right, first thing I'm going to be doing is using this. I can just use the milk if I get low on health, because we need to go and get ourselves a fish. They sell fish for 200 rupees, not worth the price obviously, because we can only go up to 99. But luckily you can get some fish right outside the shop. Just over here. We're going to be needing it for Jabu Jabu. Not yet though, we don't have the letter. But we don't have the means to get the letter without doing the diving minigame to get the silver scale, which will allow us to dive deeper and actually reach the letter in the bottle. Then we can persuade King Zora to let us pass and actually rescue his daughter. And thus, it'll be taking us to the third and final child dungeon. Okay, let's go and get our prize. Graceful Dive. Now please take this. Scale of Arcane. With this you can dive much deeper underwater. No, I didn't mean to do that. Ugh, whatever. Actually, there's more rupees to do this time. Which is funny, because the game's like aware that we can dive deeper before. We're not going to do it. Oh well, whatever. I don't know if you get anything else for doing it. I've never really bothered doing the game again, to be honest. Maybe you get a heart piece or something. Or maybe more rupees. Which would just be equally as useless. Actually, I'm going to have a quick look at the diving minigame and see if you get another heart piece. If you do, then we'll do it. Sorry, let's get that item again, shall we? Actually, grab it. Let's have a look at what the prizes are. Oh, you just get a purple rupee. Yeah, it's kind of lame. There's a bit of trivia behind this. The diving game is one of the few mandatory minigames in Legend of Zelda series, and arguably the only one in Ocarina of Time. So that's a nice little bit of trivia. Well, it is needed in order to get the letter, so there's no other way of getting it, so it makes sense. Okay, here we go. Let's see, she's inside Lord Jabu Jabu. That's not possible. Our guardian god, Lord Jabu Jabu, would never eat my dear Princess Ruto. But since that stranger Ganondorf came here, Lord Jabu Jabu has been acting a little green around the gills. The evidence seems clear. Of course, you'll go find Ruto. You can pass through here to the altar of Lord Jabu Jabu. I'll keep this letter you keep in the bottle and take it respectfully. Please find my dear Princess Ruto immediately, Zora. We're gonna skip this. We're gonna speed this up. It takes forever. Okay, fish time for Jabu Jabu. Just gonna quickly save before we go in. Time to eat. This is a pretty cool dungeon, to be fair. Very creative. Jabu Jabu's belly. And there's Princess Ruto. Who are you? I'm Ruto, Princess of the Zoras. Are you saying my father asked you to come here to save me? Well, I'd never ask anyone to do such a thing. Letter in a bottle? I have no idea what you're talking about. My father is worried about me? I don't care. Anyway, I can't go home right now. And you, get out of here, understand? Oh no! That's what you get for not kind of looking before leaping. Are you still hanging around here? I told you to go away. I'm okay, I've been going inside Lord Jabu Jabu's belly since I was little, but Lord Jabu Jabu is very strange today. There are electrified jellyfish and strange holes around. On top of that, my precious stone was... but that's none of your business anyway. You go home now, understand? You're that worried about me? Then I'll give you the honor of carrying me. However, I won't leave until I find the thing I'm looking for. You better believe me. Another fairy. There we go. Make up for the one that we lost. It's best if we deal with these first. Kind of like how they not carried, but brought back the carrying mechanic in Wind Waker, where you like throw Medley around. That was a really fun dungeon, actually, the dungeon where Medley works with you. Kind of cool, to be fair. Gotta wait for a platform to come down. Right, we need Ruto for these sections. Yep, that's where we need Ruto to wait outside for us. These guys come back. Magic jar. I suppose I haven't had one of those yet. Just refill your magic meter. That's all they do. Boomerang. Amazing. I like how it looks in the game, but like the art on the C button is like... Actually no, it is the same. Ah, there we go. Yeah, in the overworld it looks totally different. It's like yellow and purple. Which is very strange. It's got like a totally different design in here. But like when you pick it up, it's totally different. I'm not sure what the reason is for the change, but hey. Need to go and grab Ruto again. On the plus side, I can now beat these. She'll basically give us a tongue lashing about being inconsiderate. I like how she despawns instantly when we go through the door. I think we get the map this time, if I recall. Yes, we do. Cool. And luckily Ruto doesn't despawn too far here. She actually waits outside. And luckily we can actually take her in with us for this one. Of course it will, Navi. Little time challenge for this one. That should be the compass, if I recall. Which makes sense. Let's quickly speed up. one to take out. There's no chest in this room, naturally. Because all it does is remove the central pylon. Best to take these out first. Right, which has now removed the green pylon in the corner of the room. Magic of the boomerang. And there we go. That's the sapphire. But we've got a mini boss to fight, which will be coming up in a moment. Oh no. An octopus. Well, kind of. I'm going to use Deku sticks for this to make the fight go a bit quicker. The idea is to hit it when it's spinning and get the back end. Or if you're a bit like me and you miss, it can be a bit of a pain. Yeah, hit detection can be a bit iffy with this boss, to be fair. There we go. 2 jump attacks is all that's needed. It's amazing the amount of bosses you can like undercut with just jump attacks. Let me deal with this Octorok. It's kind of a troll, if you will. Let me jump on this platform and it should slide down. Now, we don't have Ruto, but there's some boxes conveniently placed over here just for this part. Which was actually some good, you know, good sight on their part there. Just gonna get rid of any enemies nearby, because there's a gold Skulltula here. And I want to get a hold of it with no problems whatsoever. Aiming with the boomerang is a bit of a pain. I'm not the best at it. There we go. Ironically, I find the slingshot easier to aim. Game's not letting me target that thing. Okay, boss time. Baronade, bioelectric anemone. Right, time to unhook it. Right, I'll be taking out the little buddies it's got. Second set. Targeting was a bit iffy then. Mind you, it was coming out of that phase. One more should do it. it's over. Whoa, frame dip. The hardware was like, you know, having a bit of a Michael Bay moment. Oh, she's peed off with us. You're late. You took so long. You're useless. I was just lonely, that's all. Just a little. Sundare mode activated. You look so cooler than I thought you would anyway, just a little. Well, anyway, you saved me, so I guess I'll reward you. What do you wish? Just tell me. I want the spiritual stone. You mean the spiritual stone of water? Zora's sapphire, don't you? My mother gave it to me and said I should give it to the only man who will be my husband. You might call it Zora's engagement ring. Alright. I'll give you my most precious possession, Zora's sapphire. Backward swimming. You obtained Zora's sapphire. This is the spiritual stone of water passed down by the Zoras. Her most precious possession. You don't know what she was talking about, but you finally collected all 3 spiritual stones. Go back to see the Princess Zelda. Don't tell my father. Rather amusing. Right, I'm gonna have to use the Sun Song in a minute. Also, there is a fairy fountain here, but I can't get to it yet without the Megaton Hammer, if I recall. Because I know that bomb is not going to explode. Or it'll blow it up, I should say. Yeah, it's here. I need the Megaton Hammer for that. The reason I want to make this nighttime is because there's actually a gold Skulltula that appears, which can only be accessed with the boomerang, or hookshot, I suppose, if you come back here, but I don't plan to come back here as an adult. Well, we do come back here as an adult, but it's mainly for the ice cavern. There it is. I'm gonna need my boomerang. Destroyed a gold Skulltula, which is really nice. Rightio, we should be heading back to the Temple of Time. However, I want to make a quick detour back to Deku, to the Deku tree, go back inside, and get the 1 gold Skulltula that we did not get a hold of. Quickest way to go back would be through here. Sorry for all this super speed, but it's the fastest way to get back there. run over to the DQ tree. Jeez, I'm playing at this speed. Hold on, I'll get it in a minute. There we go. It's the one room with the bomb area in it. Here it is. I'll slow down now. That's what we need. Can't access it otherwise without the boomerang, you see. Let's see how many Skulltulas I have. 20. Right, we can now leave. Not sure which is the quickest way out of here, really, other than the entranceway, so... I mean, I could have gone to the boss area and used the warp point from there, but... might as well do this. Okay, I'll use the speed up on the climbing, though, because the climbing takes a bit. Right, trying to figure if there's anywhere else I can go real quick. Off the top of my head, I don't think there's anything else left. I suppose I can go and get my prizes from Kakariko real quick. Before we have the big cutscene with Ganondorf and Zelda and Impa. I mean, we do have 20 gold Skulltulas now, which is cool. Stone of Agony. Adult's wallet. 200 rupees. Sweet. Whoops. How to exit a door 101. Okay, here we go. We're all prepared and we're ready for the next section of the game. Here he is, the big bad himself. Arr, I lost her. You over there, little kid.
You must have seen the white horse galloping past just now. Which way did it go? Answer me. So you think you can protect them from me? You've got guts, kid. You want a piece of me? Very funny. I like your attitude. Pathetic little fool. Do you realize who you're dealing with? I am Ganondorf, and soon I will rule the world. Dramatic close-up now on Link's face. Gets me every time. That one expression. Because of hardware limitations. Right, let's go and get the ocarina. It's just down there. We're going to learn a new song too, which will be nice. Ocarina of Time, the royal family's hidden treasure. And she has like a memory or some sort of magic imbued, which then lets us like learn this new song. Link, when you hold this ocarina in your hand, I won't be around anymore. I wanted to wait for you, but I couldn't delay any longer. At least I could leave you the ocarina and this melody. You've learned the Song of Time, which will allow us to open the door. It also lets us remove blue blocks, which have the Door of Time logo on them. Now Link, play this melody in front of the altar in the Temple of Time. You must protect the Triforce. And just like that, we have a shiny new ocarina. Might as well get 40 rupees from jumping. Might be wise that I get as many rupees as I can in the last minute. So it'll help if I need to buy any of the tunics when I become an adult. Although that'll be in the next part, because after we open the door and become an adult, I'll be leaving it off. Well, I'll be leaving this part off till the next one. We're not done yet though, there's a few cutscenes left to go. The amazing Temple of Time. Look how beautiful it looks. Very ornate. There we go. The door is now open. Link, isn't that? Shock. It is an awesome sword, to be fair. It's very iconic. It's that legendary blade. The Master Sword. Well, time to grab it. Excellent work. As I thought, you held the keys to the door of time. You have led me to the gates of the sacred realm. Yes, I owe it all to you, kid. Link, wake up. Link, the chosen one. I am Raru, one of the ancient sages. Ages ago, we ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the entrance to the sacred realm. This is the Chamber of Sages, inside the Temple of Light. The Temple of Light, situated in the very center of the sacred realm, is the last stronghold against Ganondorf's evil forces. The Master Sword, the evil destroying sword that you pulled out of the pedestal of time, was the final key to the sacred realm. Link, don't be alarmed, look at yourself. He's aged. Look. He grew up. So proud of him. Look, Link, you're big now. You've grown up. The Master Sword is a sacred blade, which evil ones may never touch. Only one worthy of the title Hero of Time can pull it from the pedestal of time. However, you were too young to be the Hero of Time. Therefore, your spirit was sealed here for 7 years. And now that you are old enough, the time has come for you to awaken as the Hero of Time. Do you understand your destiny? Of course. But remember, though you opened the door of time in the name of peace, Ganondorf, the Ruto king of thieves, used it to enter his forbidden sacred realm. He obtained the Triforce from the Temple of Light, and with its power he became the king of evil. His evil power radiated from the temples of Hyrule, and in 7 short years it transformed Hyrule into a world of monsters. My power now only has little influence, even in this sacred realm, namely, this Chamber of Sages. But there is little hope. The power of the sages remains. When the power of all the sages is awakened, the sages' seals will contain all evil powers in the void of the realm. I, Raru, will be one of the sages, and your power to fight together with the sages makes you the Hero of Time. The Hero of Time chosen by the Master Sword. Keep my spirit with you, find the power of the other sages, and add their might to your own. You receive the light medallion. Rauru the Sage adds his power to yours. Find the other sages. Save Hyrule. We're not done just yet. There's another character we're going to be introduced to. Link, we're back in the Temple of Time, but have 7 years really passed? It looks like you won't be able to use some of the weapons you found as a kid anymore. Let's get out of here. I've been waiting for you, Hero of Time. When evil rules all, an awakening voice from the sacred realm will call those destined to be sages who dwell in the 5 temples. One in a deep forest, one on a high mountain, one under a vast lake, one within the house of the dead, and one inside a goddess of the sand. Together, with the Hero of Time, the Awakened Ones will bind the evil and return light of peace to the world. This is the legend of the temples passed down by my people, the Sheikah. I am Sheik, survivor of the Sheikahs. As I see you standing there holding the mythical Master Sword, you really do look like the legendary Hero of Time. If you believe the legend, you have no choice. You must look for the 5 temples and awaken the 5 sages. One sage is waiting for the time of awakening in the forest temple. The sage is a girl, I'm sure you know. Because of the evil power in the temple, she cannot hear the awakening call from the sacred realm. Unfortunately, equipped as you currently are, you cannot even enter the temple. But if you believe what I'm saying, you should head to Kakariko village. Do you understand, Link? So yeah, we can't do anything here. To save the forest girl, you need another skill. Head to Kakariko. Yep, which is where we'll be doing the next set of stuff to essentially get the hook shot, which will allow us to get into the forest temple. But that'll be for another time. Right now I'm going to save. And yeah, that's going to be it for this part, at least for the child dungeons that I've done in this part anyway. And next time we're going to be tackling the forest temple and all the stuff in between. Radio. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next part. Until then, ciao for now.